Hi there, I'm Jake.
And I'm Ashley.
Welcome to the 8th instep of our game here in the Blind Eternities Tavern. Now we've been gone for a little bit, and Wizards' Towers, have the tendency to move around a little bit, so it might look a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little bit cooler. So today we're going to talk about what's going on in the new year, what we plan on doing, how the holidays went, and this upcoming set that I think everybody's really excited about. But first, we have a really cool drink that we're drinking tonight. Ashley, would you like to tell us what we're drinking?
Yeah. So over the holiday, we had a couple of really cool people over to play some board games with us at our house. And our friend Veronica brought us a Zarita Premium Wine Cocktail Pumpkin Spice Espresso Martini. And as you can see, we liked it. It's empty. This is the last bit of it. But I figured that would be kind of a good way to kind of kick off the new year, something a little bit spicy and something with a little bit of espresso in it to kind of jump us into it.
A little bit of espresso, a little bit of pumpkin spice, every aspect of the holidays nicely wrapped up in one little drink.
Yay! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Yay!
That's really nice.
That's really nice. Thank you, Veronica.
But to kick things off, I think we'll go ahead and start by talking about the holidays. Talking about gifts we've received, games we played, and time we spent with The Gathering. Part of Magic the Gathering.
That sounds great.
So, where do you want to start with our holiday experience?
Well, I think we want to start probably talking about some of the cool gifts that you got this year. I know there's especially one game that you're particularly excited about. Do you want to tell us about that?
So I just got a copy of Wormspan. Now, if you've played Wingspan before, it's very similar. But instead of laying eggs for birds, they're dragon eggs, and you raise dragons. And I love the board game because it is just packed with lore about the dragons that are in there, short descriptions of every breed, where they live, all those aspects.
There's literally a species guide. It's incredible.
It's really fun. But it's a great middleweight board game. We played it one time all the way through and had a really good time. I look forward to playing it more, but it's a little bit more of a commitment than I think you can just knock out in a casual evening unprompted.
Yeah, I like the collecting eggs aspect part of it. Anything where there's something that feels tangible and feels like I get to keep a thing, makes me very happy. And this definitely has that aspect with the eggs, even though they are a currency, and so you do have to give them up, which is a little devastating. You have to feed dragons to make dragons. So only mildly cannibalistic, but... It's a very fun game.
I will also say one of the things that I really like about that board game, especially in relation to other board games kind of in that same genre, is it is a front-loaded randomness game where you kind of get stuff randomly and then have to figure out how to put it together.
Yes.
Rather than trying to do something and randomly finding out that you can't.
Yes, that is very true.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what kind of board game player you are. I like to know where I'm headed.
Yes.
And so it's a little frustrating for me because you start off the game with 4 cards and you have to discard 2 cards. Yeah. And it was very much I don't know what any of this does at all. And I don't know how good any of this is. And I don't know if it's worth holding on to the more expensive things for late game or how this works.
Right.
And so I think that I'll have a lot more fun when we play through it the next time. And I'll have a little bit better of an understanding of, what is actually worth keeping.
Sure.
But no, I see where you're coming from. Yeah. I think we also just play games differently. But I liked it. I thought it was fun. But it was definitely a little bit longer of a game than I usually like to play.
It is a little bit long, but it's also bounded.
It's true.
Right? There's no way this game is going to go on and on and on and on.
That's true.
With people refusing to end the game just because... Looking at you, terraforming Mars. Anyways, did you get anything fun, game-related this holiday season?
I did. I'm particularly excited for Gwenum. It was in my stocking. Thank you, Santa. I'm very excited about it. One of our friends at Lost Levels, Gabe, put together a kind of CEDH, not kind of, very CEDH Gwenum.
CEDH, yes.
And I got to play it sight unseen, so I didn't look through the deck before I played it,
Probably
which
should
is
have.
the wrong move. Always look through your deck before you play, especially at a competitive level. But I had so much fun, and it really felt like my Braids deck, but better.
Yeah.
And it also felt very similar to my Mono Black Ob Nixilis deck in terms of like feeling very toolboxy.
Yes.
Which I really enjoyed. So thanks, Gabe. I've bought Gwenum now, apparently, so I will be building that deck, and we can compete against each other and see who built it better. But I am very excited about that. So that's probably one of my favorite gifts that I received this year. Two other games that Santa brought in our kids' stockings this year were, what was it, Mantis Shrimp, the Rainbow Shrimp game?
Yes, the Matthew Inman
Yes.
games.
Yeah. So the Matthew Inman, he is the artist who did the Oatmeal.
Yeah.
And Exploding Kittens is probably more well known here. And so we got a expansion of Exploding Kittens, which Bowden absolutely loves. It's kind of like a folding
the board game.
Kittens. Yeah. The board game Exploding Kittens. It's incredible. As an artist, from a design perspective, it feels very much like he figured out how to make a flip book.
Yeah.
With not a flip book, a pop-up book.
Yes.
And was like, ooh, we can make a game out of this, and then did. Just the mechanic of how the board game works is very, very cool. And it's also something where we were able to play it with both of our kids. So we have, again, a 4-year-old and a almost 10-year-old. And they loved that game. We played it, 4 or 5 different times with different people. It's simple. You pick it up really quickly, and it's silly.
It's great.
I mean, who doesn't love it?
Exploding Kittens.
It's Exploding Kittens, but a board game. And then our daughter got the Rainbow Mantis Shrimp game, which is sort of like a almost Go Fish style game.
Kind of, yeah. You're building sets of cards to do things.
Yeah, you build sets of cards. There's a pile in the middle, and the back of each card tells you it could be one of 3 different colors.
Yes.
And you get to choose to try to steal from somebody else or to try to score points on your turn. And so it's a pretty simple mechanic.
No reading involved.
0 reading involved. So our 4-year-old absolutely loved it.
Yep.
And she also loved the pictures of the different mantis shrimp.
And it's just by color. So
it's
really
just by
easy.
color.
It's great.
Mostly she just loved to steal, especially from you. But it's fine. It's fine. I had a great time.
Yeah. It's easy to win when you can just operate completely unabated.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah.
But yeah, so cool gifts.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about anything else that we did while we were there?
Well, some of the
and stuff.
I mean, sure. Do you have other things you would like to talk about?
Not particularly. I know we talked about kind of gifts that we've received in the past that were associated with games that really stood out. Because I think there's always this discussion every holiday season of what do you get for Magic players?
Yeah.
Because obviously from this discussion, we didn't really do a lot of Magic this holiday season.
I mean, I got Gwenum, and I'm very happy about that.
You
also bought me literally all of the Avatar, not the whole Avatar set, but he bought me a bunch of Avatar stuff over time, and we're considering that my Christmas present this year.
So all of that kind of stuff. In the past, I've really enjoyed getting kind of the peripheral Magic stuff, like the books and interesting backpacks and boxes and that kind of stuff.
That's super fair.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think... So if we're thinking about gifts, especially specifically about Magic gifts that we've received, I think my favorite and one of the most meaningful gifts for me was one year Jake went and bought all of the mono black staples that I needed in order to make my Ob Nixilis deck function. Y'all have heard me talk about this. This is my favorite deck of all time. I played only this deck for 10 years. It was the first deck that I picked out and bought and built myself. We got it as a pre-con from Target, and it was the Ob Nixilis of the Black Oath Planeswalker pre-con deck. And I played it as a pre-con for maybe 2 years, and then we kind of slowly started updating it over time. And then you got me the Liliana's Contract.
Yeah, it's the Read the Fine Print Secret Lair.
Yes, Read the Fine Print Secret Lair. And the deck was okay, but the power level had started falling behind a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still loved that deck. And in order to make it good enough to really play and have it play consistently, I needed Search. But it turns out Mono Black Search is very good and also very expensive.
Well, the good ones are expensive.
The good ones are expensive.
There's a lot of bad ones that aren't that expensive.
It's true, but the level that we were playing at, I really needed the good Search at this point.
To keep up with Nekazar and
some of the other things that were happening. And so there was one year where this was a complete surprise for me. I didn't know that he was going to do this. He bought like 3 or 4 of the good Search, as well as some other mono black staples that I really needed for my deck that were kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it, and I opened it and I cried, and it's still one of my favorite Christmas presents. I don't think I will ever fully take that deck apart. I stole pieces of it for making my braids deck, but it was devastating to me and it hurt my heart and my soul, so I put it back together.
You can always put it back together.
Yeah, and now it's sitting again back kind of ready to be played whenever the time comes for it.
It's still pretty solid.
It's really solid.
It's hard to go wrong with mono black.
Yeah. And so like thinking about gifts for me, you talk about liking to receive kind of peripheral gifts for Magic the Gathering. I am kind of, I don't want to say I'm a closet nerd because I think it's pretty clear that I am relatively nerdy.
I hate to break it to you.
I am a nerd, yeah, but I also am not somebody who likes having a bunch of stuff that's related to those things.
Yeah.
I have an art degree. I'm very like aesthetic and specific with the way that I want my space to look. And I like a very clean look. And most of nerd stuff does not look like that, unfortunately.
I look like trash.
You don't look like trash. Would you say that this is clean or opulent? Because I would say this is opulent.
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thank you. But yeah, so that's not necessarily what I want my space to look like, right? And so a lot of that like third-party stuff that you would get, unless it's something that I like really specifically want, is not necessarily a good gift for me. I am more like individual cards or
very
specific things that I need. Or if there is like a deck box or something that I specifically have wanted or asked for. That's the kind of gift that works for me in my nerd space.
Or anything Zelda.
Yeah, but like even then, like I'm not really like gonna put a Zelda poster up in my house. Like that's just not the way that I function. But I do like trinkets, so like that I can kind of work with. Yeah. Whereas like for you, I would say that your experience and what you are looking for in a gift that's related to Magic is a little bit different.
That's true. Yeah, it's a little bit broader probably on that.
Yeah, like I think you would like to receive specific things that you want or need, but the reality is you're going to go buy those things for yourself.
And I think also I've kind of gone through phases with the stuff that I'm looking for in Magic. Because if you're just getting started, you kind of just want more cards, and it doesn't really matter what they are, so it's just any sort of booster packs or boxes or pre-cons.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you kind of move into the supply side, and you're like, I need sleeves and deck boxes and backpacks and ways to handle all that. And then it's kind of like, I have too much stuff, so I want other things like books
furniture,
or graphic tees or furniture, you know, like just other things. And then you kind of hit a point and you're just like, I want board games and other stuff. I have enough Magic related things.
Yeah, where you're like, I'm actually set with where I am right now.
Yeah. That being said, any amount of unglued lands is still a great gift.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Unglued lands, dual lands for you.
Oh, dual lands is good.
Yeah, you take a dual land.
Happily,
Maybe like a Lion's Eye Diamond.
Lion's Eye Diamond. Mox Diamonds, yeah.
Mox, yeah.
Yeah, any of those real or fake.
I'd take a Black Lotus. I'm down for that.
The demand is infinite here. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I see what you're saying. You're kind of at a point where you have the collection that you're really looking for. You have a good foundation for what you're building. And realistically, you could kind of trade to whatever you wanted or purchase within reason or proxy kind of the cards that you're really interested in playing. So at this point, it's more kind of peripheral. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think at some point you also get to that stage of just like, when you are making something new, you have a list of the things you need for that specifically.
Yeah.
And that's not always a great gift.
Yeah.
To give someone a shopping list of like, these are the 6 things.
Yeah,
I guess
no.
depending on the person.
I think it depends on the person.
Some people like shopping like that.
Yeah, you've talked about this in the past. You have like a gift giving guide, but it's not really a gift giving guide. It's like how to ask for gifts for Magic the Gathering, which I love. Because something that you bring up in that video is you talk about how part of gift giving is the gift giver having fun with that gift. Yeah. Right? And there needs to be some level of understanding of why is this thing cool. So I love when you talk about like, if you ask for something that's very specific, please take the time to explain to that person after they have given you that gift why it is cool and help them to understand that you think it is really, really cool.
Yeah, telling my mom why Commander Masters is an awesome set was a long discussion.
100%. And I also love the story of your magic book Christmas. I don't know if you want to talk about that story, but I think that's one of the coolest gifts in terms of
So one year for Christmas, I asked for just magic books. And I made a list of the books that I had and a list of all the books that existed. And my extended family all came together and filled out most of that list. I have almost every magic novel that was made up through 2006-ish, maybe a little bit beyond that.
Also, in case you didn't know, they used to make Magic the Gathering novels that came out like with every set, right?
And it's coming back with Strixhaven in April. Pre-order the book, buy it. We want to support this. This is awesome. I like stories in print. I want more of that.
I think we need to get you one and me one.
Yeah.
Because we also treat books differently.
It also comes with a fancy command tower.
Oh, we're getting
exciting.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that Christmas, when I got a whole bunch of magic books, my grandpa kind of knew the plan, but didn't really know the context around the plan, and got me a very nice collection of magic tricks in a big book.
Yes.
You know, categorized card tricks, rope tricks, different cup and ball type stuff in this comprehensive tome. It's like one of the standards for doing magic.
He got you a magic book.
I love it. It's a great magic book. Yeah. Not the type of magic book that I was specifically looking for, but it was really fun to get that.
Yeah.
With the rest of it, so.
Yeah, and I think that's also something that you have to acknowledge. If you're asking for gifts from somebody and they don't know what those things are, please have grace for that person. If you ask them for, right, but like if you ask them for a thing and they get you something that is very obviously an attempt to get you that thing, at some point you just have to say thank you. Yeah. Because Papa was so excited to give it to you,
and
too.
It's actually really thoughtful.
It's very thoughtful, fun. And it also aligns with a lot of you in general. Yeah. You are kind of a person who likes to have hobbies. You do Rubik's Cube, you do puzzles. You love board games. You love doing these kind of cool, interesting card tricks.
Yeah.
So even if it wasn't necessarily the thing you were looking for, it feels very much like it fits within the context of who you are as a person.
Yeah. I would love to do like the cardistry things with your hand and magic cards. It'd be super fun.
It would be
Definitely
super cool.
Cheating.
I love it.
But,
yeah.
Anyways, so moving through the holidays from the gift-giving side to the New Year's side, I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about New Year's resolutions, kind of what we're looking to do in the upcoming year. Specifically within the hobby space, within Magic, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have something
I have a couple things in mind.
Yeah.
So I've had this goal for myself where I want to make, so I love playing mono black. It is my very favorite. Pretty much every deck that I have ever intentionally built that hasn't been a part of like a pre-release or a draft has included black in it in some capacity.
Yeah.
I want to make every combination of black deck that I can. And I'm currently doing pretty well. I have all of the 2 colors except for black-green. And I've heard from literally everyone that it's insane that I don't have a black-green deck because apparently that is the combination of colors that everyone makes. So I'm going to get my butt in gear and make a black-green deck this year is kind of one of my goals for myself. I have 2 other goals for myself. One, historically, I have been very bad at doing any research or following at all new sets that are releasing. And so one of my goals for myself for this year is to be on top of following releases for new sets. And I've tried with this one that's coming out pretty soon. So I'm excited about that. I literally wrote like 3 pages of things that I'm just excited about. So I don't think it's necessarily very good for like research or for, priming for like a pre-release or any of those things that I should probably be doing as my thing. It's more just kind of generally pay better attention to spoilers.
I don't think there's any obligation to really strategize at a high level if you're not trying to go pro. I know you're competitive. You disagree.
I am very competitive. I do disagree. My family growing up, our family motto was that we dominate. And the idea was not that we have to win at everything, but we do have to show up and try our best and do our best at what we're doing. And I think it served me very well in life, but it does mean that I am incredibly competitive, and that is just something that was like a family tenet of mine. The first time we played Uno at my house, Jake was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you guys doing?" Not because his family's not competitive, but because I don't think he realized you could be that competitive at Uno.
There are things to be competitive about. Uno is not one of them.
Uno is the most competitive thing. I play competitive Magic, let's be real. Uno is more cutthroat.
It's like playing high-stakes Yahtzee.
It's incredible. Which my family did this Thanksgiving, and it was great. It's awesome. So be competitive at everything, and eventually you'll be good at it. It's a good starting point.
It's fine.
He married me.
Yeah, my family had a different philosophy with games.
What was your family's philosophy with games? You haven't really talked about this as much.
It was always playing to win, but just playing the game. Like...
No mind games?
No.
You weren't trash talking?
No.
Why would you not trash talk? That's like half the fun.
No, but we played through mostly video games when I was little.
Okay.
But like Mario, Sky Kid, all the classic Nintendo through PlayStation and beyond. We would definitely strategize and collaborate to try to like figure out ways to optimize things. So we would compete in the games, but it was very rarely like a cutthroat between each other type thing.
I
remember at one point my brother and I were playing through, I think, Halo 2.
Sure.
And we were in junior high and high school at the time. And so we had schedules that didn't really align. So only one of us was able to play at a time, but we still wanted to like play through the whole 2-player campaign. And so we were able to jimmy a warthog through multiple levels in areas where you weren't supposed to have it, because it was the only vehicle that you could get into the passenger seat on one side and the driver's seat on the other, and drive the non-manned character around the stage, hop out, kill all the enemies, get back in, and drive it up on 2 wheels to get through some of the hallways. Yeah, you can get a warthog through like 90% of Halo 2.
That's incredible.
Yep.
I love that.
So
meanwhile, me and my brother were playing like Smash Brother Melee and throwing bacon at each other, and that was like the way that we played.
Yes.
Competitive bacon throwing.
Oh yeah, sudden death Melee was definitely our preferred
method. 100%. It's the right way to play. Why would you play anything else?
Yes.
Yeah. We also used to just turn on only hammers and put it at like high.
Just running around mashing.
Well, you don't need to if you have the hammer.
That's what I mean, just picking it up.
Yeah. Then it was whoever didn't have the head of their hammer fall off.
Yes, exactly.
That's who won. Yeah.
You lose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So, with the new set coming out, they've actually changed the way that the preview season works. And I don't know if this is going to be consistent for every set, but they condensed the previews down to, I think, only a week between announcing the first card in the preview series and the entire set being released, from being a 3-week lead time.
I kind of like that.
Yeah,
it
me too.
Forces discovery much sooner.
Yeah.
Which I think is very cool. I think it also gives more of an even playing field for people who are going to pre-releases. Like there isn't as much time to memorize, I guess. So I think there is some level of like, if you are more skilled at remembering things, you're going to do better.
That's true.
But Yeah, I like that.
So-
It also it gives people less time to kind of play test their decks before they have to show up to things, which is interesting.
Yeah, I actually look at it from the perspective of more sets being released every year. And it was getting to the point with the long preview seasons of not giving sets time to breathe.
Yes.
You'd finish the pre-release for a set, and then a week later you'd have whatever release tournament and commander party and whatever, and then immediately you're into preview seasons for the next set coming out. And it really felt like you were never able to just play and enjoy the set that's out right now.
Yes, I would say that's
And
true.
I feel like Avatar's had a good amount of time. Partially
Yes.
that's with the holidays and other boxes
and
they
also
released.
the cancellation of the Monster Hunter. It's not a set,
The
but
Secret Lair,
the
sure.
Secret Lair got canceled, which I think
But
is
even
nice.
with that, I think we're going to see a little bit more space between sets. I hope. I really hope they don't go back to as soon as Lorwyn is released talking about Turtles. I think Turtles can wait a few weeks, and then we can start talking about Turtles.
Well, I think it depends on who you are.
I know
Steve,
some people are really
Steve is
excited
our
about
shop. I
Turtles.
don't think we're going to stop hearing about turtles.
It's going to be a lot of Turtles for
Yeah.
a while. But I like the idea of having that compressed preview season. And the other thing is, if you are trying to avoid spoilers for a set, you don't have to go dark for quite so long this time.
That's true. Did they always do spoilers?
No.
When did they start doing spoilers?
When was the first set that they fully spoiled the set? I think they had a couple of issues with people leaking the entire set
I
early.
feel like I remember
And
that.
then
Is
they
that in
switched over to
relatively
releasing
recent
stuff.
history?
I think so. I don't know when they first did a full set announcement, but I definitely recall going to events and for the pre-release.
Yeah,
And most people not knowing all of the cards that were released.
that's fair. I have kind of a weird point in time question. Is this pre-Pinkerton or post-Pinkerton?
I don't think that was really the turning point, but the Pinkerton thing, that was actually getting physical cards
Yeah.
early. And
Well,
doing
you
that
should
whole
give people
thing.
context in case they don't know what I'm referring to.
Wizards of the Coast sent the Pinkertons. Yes, they still exist after a guy who opened a bunch of product early. And I don't know if he was selling it or if he just had it, but he posted a video of it online. And it was way before the street date. I don't know exactly how it came in his possession. I think it was an issue with distributors shipping the wrong product and it getting mixed up a little bit. But, yeah. If you get stuff really early, you might let them know. Because, I don't know. I don't want
Or-
people come knocking.
Don't share.
Or just
Don't post it.
online.
That's crazy. But also, it's crazy that they sent the Pinkerton
Yeah,
after
that's
him.
true.
That's also insane. Don't do that, wizards. You are literally magic. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
They should have sent the wizards. They
Yeah.
have them on the coast.
I know, they have the wizards.
They're
They're
right
on
there.
the coast. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
Why would they not just go steal the magic? That would be such a fun book.
Wizards of the Coast steals the magic. Yeah.
Wizards of the Coast steals the magic.
Yeah.
Who would lose their spell book? Which planeswalker?
Which planeswalker would lose their spell
Yeah,
book?
which planeswalker would accidentally drop their spell book here?
I feel like Jace has made so many mistakes. He's got to have spell books that he's misplaced.
That's valid. Who is it? Urza, who made a whole bunch of artifacts, and they're just kind of all over the place now.
Yeah, kind of. I feel like Urza plagiarized most of his artifacts, though, because he just kind of, like, stole technology from the Yodians and a bunch of other, like, the Thran. And
You gotta
all
be
sorts of
honest
stuff.
though, like you wouldn't be that surprised if that just wound up somewhere.
I mean, that's the entire premise of Magic,
Yeah.
right? Is that you were traveling to different planes and taking different spells and artifacts that you find on those planes.
So that's what happened.
Yeah.
They sent the Pinkerton because they accidentally sent the real magic here, and we were like, nope, wrong plane, and had to fix it.
This is lore-accurate Magic as Richard Garfield intended.
As Richard Garfield intended.
I visited this plane, these spells are mine.
Something that I have noticed that I do think is funny. This is related, I promise.
Okay.
So you know how like different places have like different sayings. So like, you know, for well, like in Star Wars, they're like, may the Force be with you,
Yeah,
and
sure.
like in the Catholic Church. They're like, peace be with you, and like God is good all the time,
yeah.
etc. That kind of stuff. I feel like as Richard Garfield intended has become like the Magic the Gathering version of that. Is that like a crazy thing to say? Like people will
bit.
say things and it'll be like God's will be done.
Yeah, but
and it's like Richard Garfield intended. And I
Yeah.
think it's very funny because it's like become kind of this sarcastic thing almost
Right.
now. I don't know. That's something I've noticed that people have been doing more around me recently, and I think it's very funny.
Yeah.
Every time I think it, I'm like, and also with you.
Yes. What's really funny about that, though, is when you look back at what original Magic was and kind of what they were trying to do, I think Universes Beyond is kind of within the scope of that, with the striking out into new universes and new planes and capturing that thing and bringing it into your duel with another player.
100%. No, like the
It's used sarcastically, but I think there are some real aspects of it.
As soon as they jumped planes into different planes of existence, they had to know that that was an option. Right?
Also, one of the first planes they jumped into was just an actual book that was written
Yeah.
in our world.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
Arabian Nights is very much within
It is
our
literally
universe.
a book.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like the idea of the stories of these other planes leaking into our universe, but
Yes.
not getting the actual magic.
It's cool.
It is cool.
I think that I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite books that they've done for Magic and they've done a few online short series of this, but it's the Myths of Magic,
Yeah.
where they delve into some of the myths of the different groups of people on the different planes. Mm-hmm. And so there's the original book, The Myths of Magic, is about different areas of Dominaria explaining weird magical happenstance, kind of these
Ooh,
just
okay.
so stories. So like explaining where the pale moon comes from, which is
That's
a card.
cool. Yeah.
And them having this mythos about a legendary island that was turned into the pale moon, that kind of thing.
That's super cool.
But they have these myths of magic from other planes as well. And so if you look
Yeah.
up the articles online, they have a lot of them for some of the different planes that they've visited that delve into some of that mythology. It's really cool.
That's very cool. Support the books that's coming up. I want more of this. I love the lore of magic, and I think that's something that I really struggle with Universes Beyond. And we kind of have skipped over your personal
No, we're going to
things.
loop back to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I have more things to say about this set specifically, and we're looping back to that. So before we do that, maybe we should hear about what your New Year's resolutions are.
Sounds good. I think my main New Year's resolution, just financially, is to buy cards with a purpose. I keep accruing cards that are kind of neat and might go in something someday, and that box of good stuff is getting too big, and I can't make decks fast enough to put those cards into it. So just taking a step back and actually having a reason to pick up the cards that I'm buying.
That's going to be a tough one
It's
for
one of
you,
them.
because you work at a card shop.
I know.
Ooh. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold you to that.
Yeah.
Also, I literally bought a Stasis because I love the art. I saw it and was like, I need to own that. Is it going in any of my decks? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. It's not good in any of my decks.
Stasis does have great art.
Yes.
And I have shoehorned it into more decks than it probably should be in.
It's just so pretty.
It is. It's a really cool card.
It is a really cool card. It's also the first card that I saw the art for and was like, I'm buying this. No, I don't have a place for it. Yeah, I really like it.
I'm trying to think if I ever bought a card specifically for the art. I have to imagine I have, but nothing's coming to mind.
Oh, Stasis comes to mind for me.
I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so good at this.
And then other than that, I think for New Year's resolutions, at least within like board games and Magic, it's playing the board games that I have that I haven't had a chance to play very often.
Yes.
I have some legacy games that I haven't played through, so just getting a group together to play through those would be fun. I have some other like alternate Magic formats. I have some Vanguard cards that I really want to use.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I have Plane Chase that I really want to use. So just sitting down and playing through some of those, I think is something I'd like to do in the next year.
I think that'd be really cool. Is that something that you are going to do just kind of with friends, or are you bringing more board games into your channel outside of Magic the Gathering?
I might. Board games is kind of a different experience, so we'll see. But definitely now with the way the room is set up, I can do more overhead filming stuff. So
It's true.
more things on the tabletop, whether that's tabletop wargaming or D&D stuff or board game or just more Magic gameplay.
Yes.
Is definitely something that I'm looking to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
We used to kind of pre-pandemic, we had a D&D group that met every Sunday, and we would have like monthly board game things with our friends, and that kind of stopped.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, we play Magic every Friday at the local game shop, but I think it'd be fun to have people back over here for game nights.
I think it'd be great. I mean, the problem with that, everyone moved
Yeah,
away a lot.
that's
It was just
true.
kind of that time of life, scattered to the winds. So now we meet virtually.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we can get some local people together, get that going again. That'd be a lot of fun.
I think that would be fun. Also, we should explain why we keep looking over here. He's got 2 giant shelves that run almost the length of the room that are just absolutely covered in board games that
This
we
is all
have
my board games.
not played in the last year at least.
It's true. I'm probably 20% of those I've played in the last year.
I have played 0 of them. I've played one of them.
Wormspan is right
I
there.
played Wormspan. It caught it right as I said 0. I played Wormspan this year. The rest of these I have not. Well, there's some Magic. I've played that.
There's Magic stuff. We played Seven Wonders. I've played Catan.
Okay, we've played a couple.
Yeah, there's a handful.
I have a great memory. You can tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of memory, let's talk about Lorwyn.
Yes.
All the way back in 2008?
Ooh.
Is that right?
I don't know. I was in middle school. I didn't play Magic in 2008. That's crazy.
Maybe it was later than that. I don't know. Gosh. Okay.
I just broke in. Excuse me. Yeah,
So
you take that
anyways,
drink.
I know. Wow.
Yeah. So now that you're feeling nostalgic, I do have to say
And now I'm
this
just
set.
feeling old.
That's kind of the same thing. Let's be real. Something that I loved about this set is for the first time in kind of a long time, looking at the art in the cards, I was like, this is Magic.
Yeah.
It's not something where it felt like this is something shoehorned into Magic and like, oh yeah, that's the format of Magic. The art felt like Magic.
Yeah.
And like, it didn't just like, I was telling Jake, there were some cards specifically that we looked at where I was like, if you told me that this came out earlier, I would believe you. And it just felt so good.
Well, you know, one of the reasons for that, they actually brought back a lot of the artists from early Magic for this set to have that feel. It's
I
very
didn't
intentional.
know that.
There's a number
that.
of artists that haven't done a Magic card in a while, especially outside of like a secret layer here and there.
Sure.
That did large portions of this set. There's a lot of cards coming from some of those legacy artists. That's really
goodness.
cool. Yeah.
I love it so much. I love it when, especially, we've been reading a lot recently about the early design of Magic.
Well, people have started talking more about the early design of Magic.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That's super fair. But like we're reading, especially from some of the art directors, like one of the, what's his name?
Murphers.
Yeah. He's been talking about kind of his theory of Magic and kind of wanting this idea of opulence and moving away from this like super clean line look that a lot of other games were going for, and feeling like marble and feeling like natural materials and kind of thinking through that process. And it's really cool to hear about what that thought process was and then to see it come back in this set.
Yeah.
It's just good timing, I think. But yeah, no, that's something that I'm really excited about in this set. I've already pulled like a couple of cards and I'm like, I just like the art from these cards.
And just stylistically, everything they've put out around Lorwyn has been really cool.
Yeah.
The partnership with the Jim Henson Corporation for some of the trailers and the announcement videos. It's just really, really fun. It has this physicality to it that I think is so core to Magic. Everything's moved digitally, and I know Magic Arena is still around and all of that, but it's just cool to see these nods to like physical meat space for playing games.
100%. Yeah, and something that I also think is really cool is I like that they're going back to a plane. Like I like that return. So you were telling me a little bit about the lore of this plane, which I thought was interesting. You were talking about how there's not humans here.
Yeah.
But not in a Bloomborough way.
Right.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so Bloomborough, the whole thing is anything that goes to Bloomborough kind of becomes an animal. That's why we have, like, Jace as a fox and Ralzarek as an otter and like these different characters as different animals.
Yeah.
And then the Gitrog monster is still just a frog.
Yeah, because he's a frog, of course.
He's a frog. But on Lorwyn, they didn't have humans. They intentionally stepped away from humans to use only other races. And I think one of the reasons they did that was because they didn't want human to be its own creature type. And they changed that, I think, after the fact. They may have changed it the year before, because this went straight from Time Spiral, Planar Chaos, and Future Sight to Lorwyn.
Right.
And so this was the big tail end of the Dominarian saga, going all the way through, closing all of the time portals, and finally sealing off all of the things that Urza broke.
Yes.
So it rejoins the
That
rest of the
Urza.
multiverse, and this was the first, like, now we're back in the greater multiverse, let's do something really weird.
Yeah.
We want to highlight how strange and different some of these other planes are that weren't part of the limited set of planes that could be reached from where Urza broke the universe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so this was intentionally different. And they completely changed the rules of physics and everything on this plane. So there is no nighttime. It is permanent daytime through
Ooh.
all of Lorwyn. And everyone is happy.
Ooh.
And the merfolk are like a merchant group. And the Kithkins are like hobbits that have their little hovels and they travel around and enjoy food and whatever. And then you have all of the different
There's
giants and goblins and the elves. And the elves are kind of assholes, but in like a nobility, hold their nose up type way, not like a murder and pillage way.
Ah.
And then after Morningtide, which was the second set, then they released Shadowmoor. And Shadowmoor is kind of this turn in the universe where it goes from permanent daytime to permanent nighttime. And so then Shadowmoor, everything actually changes. The characterizations of all of the different races change.
Is this where werewolves came from?
No, that was Innistrad.
Oh, okay. Right.
But the merfolk go from being like traveling merchant type people to pirates.
Oh.
And if you get too close to the river, they will drag you under.
That's crazy. Okay.
And the Fae go from kind of like harvesting bad dreams to fuel the Fae Mother to like
Creating bad
people's-
dreams,
dreams,
to fuel the Fae Mother.
Exactly. Kithkin went from kind of your traditional happy-go-lucky hobbits to shut-in hermits, walled cities.
With the big scary eyes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then, so all of the races changed, and then the elves kind of also flip-flopped and are still assholes, but they're like righteous assholes now. Like, there are rules for a reason. We are going to enforce this type people. The story is super cool. I love the lore of the plane, and they did a really good job of demonstrating that in the cards and the mechanics that they use.
It is very cool. Yeah, and I was really excited. One of the first things that I noticed is I was like, oh, there's actually kind of a lot of Convoke.
Yes.
Which was like a thing. And you were like, yeah, well, it is very creature-based, and that's kind of what started this. And so I think it's really cool to see that lore reflected in what's going on in this set.
Yeah.
So.
And then this set, one of the things that Magic used to do a lot is have different sets that were all part of the same block.
Right.
And now the sets are kind of standalone.
Yes.
So to fit that into one set, there's a lot of cards that flip-flop between the day side and the night side. So you'll see like a Sig that is
there's
the
a lot of
white-blue
switch
Sig
over
and then
cards.
like the black-blue Sig.
Yeah, I saw that. That's something I actually had a question about. Where did I write it down? For Tristan Callis Cultivar and Petitent Kohler. So it's black on one side, green on the other side. And it's the one when you flip it, mill, and you can flip it at the beginning of your main phase.
Yeah, that's the self-mill elf guy, right?
Yeah. Can you technically do that as many times as you want?
So I think it only flips at the beginning of your first main phase.
Yeah, but you can pay to flip it at the beginning of your first main phase.
Right.
So the question is, can you, beginning my first main phase, I'm going to pay to flip it, and then I'm going to pay to flip it again before it ends.
When it goes to the other side, the ability triggers at the start of your first main phase.
Oh, it's a triggered ability.
And so you're already past that trigger by the time it can flip, when that resolves. So you put all of your beginning of first main phase abilities on the stack, activate them all the way down, and then when all of those are resolved, you're already past that point.
Gotcha,
So you wouldn't
because
be able to flip it
it's
back.
not an instant, it's a triggered ability.
Yeah.
It's not like you can, in response, I'm going to flip it or whatever you're going to do.
Yeah, and that's true of any of the beginning of your instep, beginning of your upkeep. All of those abilities will go on the stack and you don't pass that phase until the next go round.
Wanted to clarify. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I read through it and I was
Yeah.
like, I wasn't sure how this lined up. So thank you.
Yeah, but I love the different ways they're playing with transforming cards.
Yes.
Because the werewolves were all casting multiple spells versus casting no spells.
Yeah.
So like a surge of magic
Yeah.
will put you into werewolf form.
Yes.
And you need no magic to revert back to human. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And
in
there's
the
a
lore.
couple goblins that flip from like kind of something more menacing into aunties.
Yes.
And I love that. Like there's one that's like a matriarch and
Yes.
she flips into an auntie. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I know
kinda
people like that.
I want to build an auntie deck. Can I have
Yeah.
a deck with aunties? That sounds so fun.
Oh, the goblins are super cool.
Yeah.
I love the mechanics that they're playing with, especially the new blight mechanic.
Yes. I am obsessed with this.
What's funny to think about is the original Lorwyn and Shadowmoor came out before Commander was popular. Because Commander really took off in like 2009 to 2011 was the first.
Yeah, that
Commander
was
decks
the
that were
commander
released.
decks. Yeah.
But we're before that.
Yeah.
So the color identity thing, the hybrid mana was specifically so you could run a mono green deck and use some of these multicolored cards.
Right.
And I did. I ran a mono green Stompy deck that ran all of the different 5-color hybrid lords that came out in the original
Yes.
Shadowmoor, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really cool. I love the context for why those came about. Yeah, I thought it was really cool to see different abilities triggered based on what you use to pay for the card.
Yeah, the
So
new
there's-
elementals.
Yeah, for the elementals. So like some of them are like it's either black or blue, so 2 either black or blue. And if you pay double black, then this happens, and if you pay double blue, then this happens.
Yeah.
And so just the concept of like the intentionality of tapping your mana so that you can trigger specific abilities, I think is really cool.
Absolutely.
And not in the like you have to pay additionally to cast it, but in the like what you use to cast it will make the spell look different. And I think it's something like it feels very D&D to me.
A little
Because
bit.
like
Yeah,
you know
like
like a lot of people will
casting.
like be like I cast this spell but it's got this flavor to it.
Sure.
And the effect is the same but it looks a little different, or like you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
something
yeah.
slightly different happens because I'm a druid casting this spell and you're a cleric or whatever it is, you know what I mean? So I thought that was really cool. One of the other things.
Just a note on that for any of you that are looking to play this set online. I don't know how they're going to handle it, but be very careful casting the evoke cost for those on
Yes.
Arena with auto tapping.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be 2 of the same color to evoke it and get its effect.
Yes.
And if auto tapping will just tap whatever can produce that mana cost, you might end up with a red and a green and get nothing.
Nothing, which would be terrible.
So-
Which is funny though.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Oh, there's going to be so many misplays like that.
Yeah. I'm so glad that I got a tablet. Thanks, Mom and Dad. They got me a tablet for Christmas. I'm going to use it to play Arena. I'm excited. Yes. Yeah. No, that's definitely one of them. You said something about Blight. And
Yeah.
I think there is one card. I need to look it up again. I wrote, all of my stuff down because I think it's so... It just helps me remember. I literally wrote Evoke on Vibrance because I thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
like I was
Vibrance
like,
is so
this
cool.
is sick.
Also, the showcase art for Vibrance is a weird, like, manatee looking thing with flippers, and it's so cool.
It is
I
so
love it.
cool. I also up here wrote, want to build an anti deck. The Goblin Antis want to build an anti-themed deck. I'm very excited about that. Where is it? Oh, this one. Gnarlbark Elm. It's it enters with 2 -1/-1 counters, and it's got pay 2 colorless and a black, remove 2 counters from this creature, target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. And I read it, and I thought it was really funny because it feels like a Pokemon tutorial. You know what I mean? They could have made a
They
creature.
set you up with the
They
first
set you
trigger.
up. They're like, no. It's any counters. It
Yes.
doesn't have to be remove +1/+1 counters or whatever. They're
Right.
like, look. We give you the first one.
Yeah, you can put bad counters on it and remove those.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
so funny. So it feels very much like, like in Pokemon, it's like, oh no, your Pokemon is poisoned. Good thing you have antidote in your bag with you. Right? Or like like that's very much what that card feels like to me. And it was kind of one of the first times I'd had that experience where like it felt like they were what's it called? When you like tell someone really hard something, but not in so many words.
I'm thinking of it like a tutorial type thing, but like, what do you mean?
Yes, when you're foreshadowing, when you are, I forget the word.
I'm bad at this game.
You are bad at this game. You're fired. Gotta hire somebody else. No, it's when you're like broadcasting is the word I'm looking for. When they are broadcasting so hard what they want you to do with this card. You know what I mean? They're like, no. This is how this works in this set. Let me show you.
Well, what's funny is this is actually kind of a rehash of something they did in Eventide.
Okay.
With the enemy color hybrid cards.
Yes.
Where you'd pay a certain amount of mana and you get a creature with a bunch of -1/-1 counters.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them had the same ability that when you cast a spell that is one of those colors,
right,
you can take counters off of them.
Oh, sick.
So they come in small, but as you do more stuff, they go back up to their regular
bigger.
Power and toughness.
Gotcha.
And so now with the Blight mechanic that allows you to actively put -1/-1 counters on it.
To do things.
And a whole bunch of other stuff that's come out in the last 15 years that cares about putting counters on things.
Yeah.
Like, anyone that plays Tayum is
very
doing
excited.
real well right
now.
Just because the ability to throw counters around on all of your creatures at random, there's a lot of proliferate stuff in here.
Yes.
You were talking about doing a green-black deck.
Yes, I am so excited.
Cool.
Yeah, I want to build the black-green elf deck, but as an infect deck. I love infect, and I want it to work in Commander.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
And if you're only in 2 colors, it's completely fair.
It's so fair.
It's not like it's a Traxa.
Yeah, I mean, we already have Commander damage. What's the problem with having that?
Yeah. I don't actually think it's infect. It's that big of a problem.
Yeah,
it's
and
fine.
to be clear, when I say what's the problem with having it, I mean like cutting Commander damage in half. So you only have to deal 10 damage instead of 20. That's what I mean by having.
It's super commander
Yeah,
damage.
yeah, it's like ultra mega commander damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not like anyone will let you get through with that anyway.
They shouldn't.
No.
If they do, they'd kind of deserve it, really.
Yeah, really. They had it coming.
Right, yeah.
They had it coming.
Also, the fact that it's only top 3 elves to proliferate.
It's so fun.
You're going to be able to
I'm
pop off,
so
proliferate
excited.
3 times in one turn.
Yes.
Anything
And
that
it's
makes
also like a
elves-
ton of elves are mana accelerators, so like it's like the either tap them for mana or you can do this.
Yes.
I'm very excited. I saw it and I was like, this is my black-green deck that I'm building.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that stood out to me, and I think it's less about the card itself and more the reaction to it, is, have you seen the red goblin that stops things from being countered?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone is saying that this is going to break everything in Commander.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will.
No.
I think it's basically a Grand Abolisher Part 2.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a little bit more powerful than Spider-Punk.
Yeah.
It's noticeably more powerful than Spider-Punk, but it's going to see about as much play. I think it's going to go in a lot of the decks that run red stuff, but it's not going to be impactful at low levels.
No.
Because you don't have enough counter spells to make it matter.
Yeah.
It's not going to be impactful in Standard because it's another speed bump at getting to your main strategy. I don't think it's going to see a ton of play in CDH except as just an additional protect the combo piece.
Yeah.
And there's already a lot of those, so it'll add some redundancy, and it might be better than some of the ones that people are currently running.
Yeah.
So it'll be kind of a 1-for-1 swap. I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, kind of lukewarm take to a somewhat hot topic at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things where everybody's like, this is broken. And maybe I'm just not seeing it. But I'm just sort of like, I don't know.
Like Badgermole Cub and Wan Shi Tong, and how these are going to completely
and they
shift
like
things. And
didn't even end up in like the top whatever decks.
Not really.
And,
They're okay. They're good. They're going to be played in the decks where they're good.
they're fun. I'm excited to have them. I like the concept. I think it's cool. But yeah, I mean, it's another option in a sea of options.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing coming out with Lorwyn that's a little bit unique from the last couple sets that came out is it has robust commander decks.
Yes.
They are really cool. And you talk about building an anti-deck that cares about Blight.
Yeah.
The new Jund Goblin Commander.
Yes.
That cares about putting -1/-1 counters on things. It is just rife with combos in the precon.
Yeah.
That take very few activators added to it to turn the deck up to 11. It's going to be so fun. The elemental deck is noticeably worse, but has every good elemental commander you could want.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good toolbox that you immediately strip for perks.
Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that commander aspect of it.
Yeah.
I don't see this being a huge impact on standard.
I don't necessarily either. Maybe this is us shooting ourselves in the foot. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I am excited for pre-release though.
Yep.
Some of the things that I'm excited for. So this is a thing that I've done for the last 3 or 4 pre-releases I've been a part of, where I get really excited about a mechanic, and I'm like, this is such a cool deck, I want to build this, and then I do, and it's terrible because I don't get all the pieces I need to make it good enough, and I force it anyways. And I think the thing that I want to do that with is convoke and win something tapped things.
Going merfolk.
Yeah, because like there's a bunch of stuff that is convocable. And then there's a bunch of stuff that says when this creature becomes tapped, something happens.
Yeah.
And I just really like that synergy. I like the idea of like, yes, I have to tap the creature, but it's a benefit and I'm doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the thing that I force myself into during pre-release. Either that or I am really excited about the Blight. I think that's very cool.
Blight's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lots of really good value pieces with Blight.
Yes. Yeah.
Where one of the things that Shadowmoor did that I really loved at the time was having a lot of cards with drawbacks, with ways kind of built into the set of removing those drawbacks.
Yeah, no, it definitely is like, this is technically a drawback, but it also kind of feels like an advantage.
Yeah.
It also is funny to me because there's a bunch of stuff that, sorry, continue with what you were saying.
In the first set, there were a bunch of cards that when you cast them, you have to pay extra mana or reveal a card in your hand.
Right.
And so they've done that with some of these new cards as well. When you cast it, you have to behold an elf or whatever.
I love the idea of the behold.
Behold!
Behold!
Nice yeah.
It's so good. Okay, sorry.
But then the other side of that was the champion mechanic. When this creature comes to play, you have to exile one of your other creatures. And so all of these are negative things. You're losing cards, you're revealing information, you're doing whatever. But then you can stack that with other cards with comes into play abilities to trigger them twice. You can build it with other cards like Wrath of God that destroy everything in play, and then you get your creatures back and you're the only one with creatures in play.
Yeah.
So you can turn some of these negatives into a positive, and they've really kept that in the new set. And I love that.
It's very cool. It also feels like a very Forever Day thing of like, let's turn all the negative things into positives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where now it's kind of balancing the light and the dark, like, you know, an eclipse.
Yeah. Yeah.
The set symbol's also really cool because it is just like an eclipse with the
It is
light
really
peeking
cool.
around. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, okay, so I have 2 cards which are maybe not the craziest cards, but that I am actually really excited from the set. One of them is the Morn Song Aria. It's the one where you can't draw cards or gain life, and then at draw step, each player loses 3 life. Not each player, but on their draw step, the player loses 3 life, searches for cards to hand, and shuffles instead.
Yes.
That one to me, like, I don't know how to make that work in a way that's beneficial to the person who plays it first, because they have to play it after their draw step, but there's got to be a way. I looked at this today, but that one stood out to me as something
Like,
that was really fun.
The default combo piece is Opposition Agent.
Oh, yeah. Well, duh.
So no one else gets to draw for the rest of the game?
Yeah. And then it becomes a Leopold, or Leopold?
Yeah, Leopold.
It's just a Leopold.
Basically, no one draws ever.
No one draws ever, and you get all their search. Yeah. And then the other one that I saw that I thought was really cool, sorry, I'm writing things down, was Gathering Stone. Gathering Stone is the one that is, as long as equipment is attached to a creature, the first time you would create 1 or more tokens, you may instead create that many tokens as a copy of equipped creature.
Oh, yeah. It's like the crown thing with the
Yes,
mirror
the crown
on it.
thing, yeah. And again, it's an artifact, like, there's got to be ways to just make that seem, it just seemed really fun as an ability. You know what I mean?
Value piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you double up on any comes into play abilities.
Yeah.
Where you stack that like crazy. I'm sure there's some sort of wacky combo that you do with that.
There's gotta
where it
be.
just like cascades out to infinite
It's just
stuff.
like one of those things where I saw it and it like triggered a thing in the back of my head where I'm like, I could make something out of this. You know what I mean? So I don't know exactly what that is. I haven't put a lot of thought into this. I read about this set 30 minutes before we did this video.
Bonus time.
Yeah. So like really haven't had a lot of time to think about it, but yeah, so those were the 2 that like stood out to me as like, these are silly little guys and I want them in my decks.
Yeah. For me, the one that really stood out to me was Marilyn. I love the original Marilyn and the Morn Song, but the new one that mills
Yes.
whenever an elf enters. It is just like a peak combo deck.
Yeah.
And I've been looking for a good food chain outlet.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I used to play food chain Terra, but I've kind of scrapped that CEDH deck for parts. I'm building Inala, and I'm
Yeah.
looking for a home for some of the other green and white cards out of that. And I think those green cards go really well in here, and you can food chain your commander for the win, and just any sort of intruder alarm loop or token making loop instantly mills your opponents out of the game.
Yeah.
And you can also mill yourself and do all sorts of crazy stuff. It's just really exciting, and there's so much in this set that I really enjoy.
New year, new set.
Yeah.
New year, new set. New year,
Oh,
new
it's
set.
so cool.
I'm so excited. I really like the direction the set took. I'm excited to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are out of time. So I think we're going to finish our end step and move to the cleanup step.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Pass the
talking
turn.
with us. Pass turn.
See you next
Happy
time.
New Year!
Happy New Year.